when we're talking about consecutive integers like 11 and 12, 4 and 5, we need to get them into something that's a little more abstract. So let's think about this for a minute. How do you get from 11 to 12? What do? You plus 1, right? To get from 4 to 5, you plus 1, right? So when I'm doing consecutive integers, if my first value is x, my second value is going to be x plus 1. And we're going to sort of turn this into algebra with finding these points. So, but what if they change up, language on us a little bit? We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to leave the even and odd alone because I want to work with some of these odd ones with you, and then the evens will be the ones you actually got to finish. So, thank you, sir. So when it says find two consecutive integers whose sum is 45, there's a couple of things here they tell me. Okay, two consecutive integers are going to be x, and then my second one, because I don't know what either of the numbers are yet, the second one's going to be x plus 1. Then it says whose sum, what's sum mean? Close. This is my equals. What's sum? Is it minus? Add. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. It says find two consecutive integers whose sum, so x plus 1 is 45. So there's going to be an equation involved in this. So I look and I say, okay, I've got two x's. Oh, excuse me. And now, again, just like it was with the geometry equations, just like it was when we were doing regular equations, my whole job is just to get the 2x by itself. And it just becomes like the problems that we've been doing. What would be my last step on this one to get x by itself? Divide by 2. So when I get my answers, you're like, answers? I just thought we got an answer. X is 22. Remember, we're looking for that value and the next consecutive integer, so I just take the 22 and I add 1 to it. 22 plus 23 is 45, and they're consecutive integers because they're one apart. That's how these are going to work. And all I'm going to have to do as I do these, you're like, okay, let's see, three consecutive integers. Now wait a minute. Okay, my first one's always going to be x. If I have a second one, it's always going to be x plus 1. What do you think the third one might be? If you have a number and then you add 1, what do you think would be the next idea to try? Add 2. So for each one we get, we just keep adding 1 more each time. So you're like, oh. So here I'd have x plus 1 plus x plus 2, and then again equals whatever number they give me. So it just basically is going to be always starting with x, and I'm just going to keep adding 1 for each integer they want me to put in. So I got 1, 2, 3 x's. 1 plus 2 is 3. So I just combine my like terms first. And then just like we've been doing. If you're an equation expert, you're an algebra expert. I can minus my 3 out of there. Let's see here. Move over here where I can actually get this written in. And you'll always get whole number answers out of these. You'll never get a fraction. So 30 divided by 3, because I have to undo times 3 by multiplying, gets me 10. And again, and you don't have to do this every time. I just do it because I like to be able to see what I'm thinking about here. So I know if x is 10, then the next number is just 1 more than that. And the next one's just another 1. because if x is 10, 10 plus 2 would give me 12. And those three add up to 33. So again, it's not going too bad so far. But then, of course, we got to put a tweak in here. Find two consecutive even integers. Okay, so now we got to talk about evens. Evens are numbers like, 6 and 8, 2 and 4, okay? Because again, they're still consecutive, but we count one as we go. So here's how the evens are going to work. How do I get from 6 to 8? What do I add? 2. How do I get from 2 to 4? What do I add? 2. So when I'm doing evens, my first one will be x. My second one will be x plus 2. Like, all right. So let's see here. Let's see how this one's going to work. So two consecutive even integers. So we're going to have x, and we're going to have x plus 2. Okay, let's see how this goes. So x plus 2. And again, it's just a sum, so it's always going to equal whatever number they tell me. And then I just go back, see how many x's there are, because that's something I always need to know. And we're right back at a two-step equation again. You guys have shown me over and over you can do the two-step equations. It's just getting there. Undo the plus 2. Then divide by 2. What's 24 divided by 2? 12. But again, this time it's not just the next number, because my next number is going to be adding 2 to that, because we're looking for even integers. 12 plus 14 is 26. They're even, they're consecutive, and I'm good. So let's see, what else we got working here? Anything else strange going on? Oh, find two consecutive odd integers. Okay, back to the top here for a second. Odd numbers like 1 and 3, like 7 and 9. But you start to notice, you're like, well, the pattern's kind of the same. Because to get from 1 to 3, I add 2. To get from 7 to 9, I add 2. So what's up here? Well, it's still going to be x and x plus 2. Because I'm going up 2 each time. So, let's see. So I work this kind of like I work the even problems. So two consecutive odds, x and x plus 2. So let's see. So x plus 2, so that'll give me my two odds, equals 128. Let's see. So combine my x's. You're like, it kind of works out the same way this one did, because I'm going to end up with 2x plus 2. So, just like up above, I'll minus that 2 out. Give me to 126. And then when I divide by 2 this time, I get 63, which is an odd number. That's my x. And then again, to get the second one, I just add 2 to it. So you start to see, you're like, okay, I can kind of see what you're up to here. I got one last twist, and then the other 4 are going to be yours to knock out here. Fine. Oh, 3 consecutive even integers. Okay. So I know x is always the first one. When we did 2 consecutives up above, our next one was x plus 2, and it still will be. Now the third one. X plus, nothing, then plus 2, what do you think is going to come next? Close. If we're going by 2's, it goes 0, 2, then what's next? 4. So you're like, so I got to put all those in one? Yep. So we're going to have x plus 2, because that'd be my second consecutive, plus x plus 4, that's my third one. And it's always going to be equals whatever the number is. So I got 1, 2, 3 x's this time. And I have a positive 2 and a positive 4 that are like terms because they're on the same side of the equals. And then, just like we've been doing, got to figure out what x is. Undo the plus 6. And divide by 3. It's always going to be the same two types of steps. So I figure out my x, or my first number, is 16. My second number is adding 2 to that first one, which would be 18. And the third one would be adding 4. And it works. So we will take a look at a few more of these tomorrow. But again, your job is just to knock out 2, 4, 6, and 8. You got lots of good examples to work with, because this will end up being on that homework check that's going to be Thursday. So just a reminder, bring that back down here, write this at the top. Okay. This is from homework check number 4. This will be the, am I on homework check 5? Oh, I'm on homework check 5, excuse me. This is the 4th assignment in there, and the last one, okay? And that will do it.